ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, and we were deeply involved in study of the 4th chapter, known generally as the chapter known as Jnana Yoga, a methodology by which we can attain our goal of life, which is oneness with the divine. Well, whether I call it Brahman or Atman or Parameshwara or my Ishtadeva is immaterial. I have to raise my level of awareness to such an extent that all the miseries and agonies and unhappiness of the world, which is caused by our egocentricity, our egoism, that has to go, and we can, with dedicated, devoted, determined discipline, outgrow the limitations of this egocentricity or hold on the ego on us and merge with the divine. Through the process of jnana, proper understanding rationally, and that proper rational understanding is nothing else but a rock solid, crystal clear, intellectual conviction. That conviction gives us a motivation to reach, to achieve. And when we achieve and reach, that is experiencing, is the end result of this pursuit. Let us not stop only at the intellectual understanding of the matter. This is the first aspect which I have been trying to dig into your ears. The second aspect is the Gita, when you study with a very open mind and look for 4 explanations. What are those 4 explanations? Gita is informative. It informs you of something of which you had no knowledge or idea before. It's a new information placed before you. That information attracts you. And I can be above all this misery, agony, pain, differences of views, opinions, etc. Can be above this. So you get attracted and you try to assimilate those ideas emanating from information. So information graduates into education. It is informative which graduates into being educative. After education, it is instructive. It tells you, teaches you how to go about it. And finally, without having woolly-headed ideas and self-conceived ideas, as it is said, the smile on Mona Lisa's face means everything to everybody, anything to anybody. This is not so. Description is given to what happens to you or what has happened to others who have already reached the goal. Descriptive. So that you don't suffer from a hallucination or self-deception. And the Gita is full of this information, education, instruction, and description. This is the end of the 4th chapter's special section. What is it? In the beginning of the 4th chapter, Sri Krishna gives Arjuna an opportunity to ask, who are you? I know you to be my cousin brother. But you are talking as if you are God. Who are you? So Sri Krishna is obliged to answer truthfully. He is God incarnated in a human form. From human point of view, he is Arjuna's cousin brother, but from the absolute essential point of view, he is Lord God of the universe, Parameshwara, the Supreme Being who is born in a human form. Why? Why does he take this trouble? Because he sees that his children are going wayward, going astray, going away from him. So to re-establish his relevance to the humans, his children, he is born to show a way, to describe a path by means of which the children can follow him and reach that goal. And in the 9th shloka, he introduces this Lakshana section, signs and symptoms of a realized soul, information about a realized soul, educating yourself about a realized soul, and the instruction, if you follow, mind you, devotedly, dedicatedly, determinedly, in a disciplined manner, you will reach this goal, descriptive. So from 9 to 24th shloka, this is a very important section as to what is the purpose of an incarnation being born in a human, and what lessons, what message, what path he leaves behind for us to follow so that we can be in point of time through this instruction, discipline path to be one with him. So we are today in the last shloka. Previous to this shloka, he has already summarized theoretically the last line of the shloka 23, the previous shloka. He says, Yagyaya acharata karma samagram praviliyate. With that, he completes the academic aspect of it. What does it mean? Convert your life into an endless offering to the divine. Yajna means each act and deed which is done with no other motivation but the motivation of offering it to God. I cannot give bad, dirty, shoddy things to God. So whatever I do in my life, I do it thoroughly, correctly, perfectly, excellently, with the best of my heart and soul, and then I offer it to God. That is Yajna Acharana. Acharana is behavior. That behavior is motivated by your attitude. Attitude is my whole life is now converted from egocentric activity to worshipfulness of the divine. Yajnaya acharataha, performance, not only talking and speaking and thinking, day-to-day performance, every moment, every act and deed of my life must be perfectly, thoroughly, correctly, excellently done, so that it is worthy of being offered to God. And to pray to Him, help me to be better. This is Yajnaya Acharata. If you do so, what happens? Samagram karma praviliyate. Liyate, biliyate, prabiliyate. Two prefixes on laya. Laya is totally annihilated, totally destroyed. The bondage that is a part and parcel of our work and activity. Why that bondage? Because I expect result from my acts. That bondage does not exist because I expect nothing. I've converted my concept of work with a correction of my attitude into a concept of worship. So, Bandhana Swarupa Karma becomes Mukti Hetu. It becomes a cause of liberation instead of cause of bondage. You have played such a trick on yourself that it has taken a somersault. Totally opposite. Karma, which is bandhana. That is why Acharya Shankara says, Tathi Kaushalam. The Gita says, Yogaha Karmashu Kaushalam in the second chapter. What is yoga? It is a kushalata. Kushalata means dexterity. Performing it in such a way that its bad effects are destroyed, but it becomes a means to realization. Tathi Kaushalam. What is dexterity, kushalata? Yani, that attitudinal correction by means of which bandha svabhavanyapi karmani, karma, which is bandha svabhava swarupa, svabhavat nivartate. That svabhav disappears. It instead of being bandhana hetu, you have converted it into mukti hetu. Means to realization, means to liberation. This is what is the attitudinal correction through your devoted, disciplined, determined, and dedicated practice. It is completing here in the 24th shloka. 24th shloka is a conclusion of all this methodology, which he has said before in many, many, many ways. Jadrichalava santushta dandhati tabimatshara siddha samasiddha saudacha kurvannapina lipyate, and etc., etc., etc. I have almost exhausted myself in explaining all that to you. Now let us read the concluding shloka and try to understand the instructive part of this section of the Gita. Informative, educative, instructive, descriptive. Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havi, Brahmagno Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam. How? Brahma Karma Samadhina. This is the shloka. You see, the word Brahman has been used with every activity, every material or matter. Matter and activity. That is all that my life rotates around. With everything, the word Brahman has been introduced. Now, Yajna. He says, Yajna acharata karma. Yajnaya, for the purpose of yajna, you continue to perform your life as a worshipfulness of the divine. How do you do that? What is yajna? Yajna is a Vedic ritual. You, at a particular time of the day, light fire, arrange the timber in fuel timber in such a manner which is stipulated, and you rotate the fire around and put the fire in a particular position, all to be followed with dedication, devotion, determined discipline. No escape, you are being disciplined. So, yajna is a Vedic ritualistic performance which is nothing else but offering yourself and all that belongs to you, including matter and your personality. All that. You are now offering it to whom? The concept of Brahman. And what is Brahman? It is beyond a time, that is, it is eternal. Beyond space, that is, it is beyond time. Eternal is beyond time. Infinite is beyond space. It is immutable, it does not change. Therefore, it is absolute. Infinite, eternal, immutable, absolute. Immutable means changeless. That is the concept of Brahman. And where is it to be found? It is my true original nature. What I say as I am, in an ultimate analysis, when I have totally purified myself of all attachments, and I burn it absolutely pure, like pure nugget of gold comes out after heating, smelting. Similarly, I burn away all the dirt and dross in me, and I am now absolutely pure. That is what my true original nature is. So that what I know as I am Atma. That is, I am Atma, Brahma. That Brahman is the goal. So now what he says, in yajna, you offer. That offering is known as arpana. Brahma arpana. That attitude, that activity, that work of yours is nothing but Brahman. Brahma Havi. Havi is Gita, ghee. That is clarified butter. You offer it swaha, swaha, swaha. that hobby is Brahman. The procedure of offering that hobby is Arpana. Hobby is Brahma. Agni is Brahma. The process of offering a hobby into Brahma is Brahman. Egocentric activity is being transformed into divine-centric because you are aware of the divine, you are offering it to the divine. Nothing but the divine in your mindset. Brahmagno Brahmanahutam. What for? Tena, by this procedure, by this methodology, by this practice, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyaam. All you are doing this for the purpose of to reach Brahman. How do you do so? By Brahmarup Karma Samadhina. By performing your workflow activity. Life is an activity. It's in a constant flow. Be aware of the presence of the divine constantly within yourself, and you will reach that goal. Here the word Brahman has been used with each and every matter, with each and every activity, with each and every motivation that a human being can generate within himself. To put it in a commonsensical manner, it means my life is flowing. The Vedic age has lost thousands and thousands of years ago. But the spirit remains. The ideology remains. The idea remains. So, how do we transform that idea in a modern age? What is life? Life is an unbreakable, unaccessible, continuous activity. Life and activity are synonymous. When the doctor, through all medical procedure, does not find any activity in your brain, does not find any activity in your heart, does not find any sign of activity anywhere in this system known as human body-mind, he declares you are dead. Activity and death are two things. Life and activity is synonymous. When there is no activity, you are dead. So from the time I am born to the time I die, it is a flow of varieties of diverse activities, one following the other. An endless chain of experiences is life. Endless chain of experiences. Either the experience is good, experience is bad, experience is terrible, horrible, ecstatic, joyful, or indifferent. Define it any way, but you are constantly experiencing. That is an activity. So now, Yajna attitude, Yajna idea is, say for instance, I make myself an example. I am a Swami. I belong to an organization. The organization has spent its time, energy, money, and all the affectionate care including scolding, rebuking, punishing, everything. That organization has made me what I am. The organization tells me this is what you do to maintain the pristine purity of this organization. That becomes my duty. And duty is nothing else but performance, activity. Now, I can do that activity to make myself egocentric. I am the head of a center. I am this, I am this, I am this. I am. On the other hand, another attitude, I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the divine. And my life is dedicated to serve God. The concept of yajna, the attitude of yajna is not lost, only the rituals have changed. Converting your life's flow into a constant awareness of the presence of the divine is a yajna of the modern age. That is why Swamiji has said karma yoga, which is a part and parcel of India's tradition mentioned in the Gita. He didn't create something. He only gave a new twist, a new meaning of the word yajna. Convert your life into an endless interaction, awareness with the presence of the divine in your life and in the whole cosmos. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havi, Brahma Roop Agni mein, in that Brahma Roop Agni, Brahmanahutam. Everything is Brahman, nothing but Brahman. And I will give you a concrete example, a few examples from Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Brahmananda, Swami Turiyanandaji. Maybe one from Swamiji, or I can hold it for later on. After having achieved his goal of life, that is having experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, guided by his Guru Totapuri, being an incarnation, he set an example. This is the procedure one should go through, right from a humble priesthood to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, step by step by step by step, just like from child care to highly qualified research worker. Step by step by step by step. You can't jump steps. You should not ever try to jump steps. Be humble, be modest, and move very steadily, steadfastly, carefully. So, after Nirvikalpa Samadhi, we find in the Gospel Sri Ramakrishna expressing what is his experience and attitude is after that traumatic experience of oneness in the whole world. He says, I see the trees, I see the leaves, I see the branches, I see the trunk, I see the Mother Earth, the water, the sky. I see all that, but I know it is nothing else but the absolute Brahman. And in a typical Bengali idiomatic manner, I'm sorry, he says, Jekhane nojor porche, wherever and wherever my eyes are falling, Brahma uki jhuki matchen. His words, Brahman is like a peeping Tom playing hide and seek with me. And in the Upanishads we find, what does it say? In Mandukya Karika it is said, Deha abhimane ganite abhede paramatmani yatra yatra manojati tatra tatra param padam drishyate. What does it mean? Deha abhimana galite. Galite means, galan means melted away. Ice is no more an ice, it has melted into water, it is no more ice. Although I live in this body, but I know I have nothing to do with this body of mine. I am free. Deha abhimana, identifying with your body, has been melted away. That's a negative definition. What is a positive definition? Vigyate paramatmani, avhede paramatmani. There's a patantar. I have known what is Paramatman, and this Jivatman has merged with Paramatman. Abhedi, there is no distinction. Or I have specially experienced it. Abheda is inseparability, oneness, or Vijnanam is oneness generated by experiencing that oneness. Abhede Paramatmani. Good enough. What happens to my mind, which is today playing 1,000 tricks on me? What happens to my mind? Yatra yatra manojati. Let my mind roam around wherever it wants to roam. I don't bother. Why? Tatra tatra. Wherever and wherever my mind goes, settles down, there and then, param padam drishyate. I see that sublime being. I see nothing. Though my eyes are seeing the chair, but I know it is nothing else but isness of the divine. Eternal presence, infinite, immutable, absolute, eternal. This is what it is being said. How do you reach there? Brahma Roop Karma Samadhina. Samadhina. What does it mean? Adhina. Samyak adhina. Your mind must be totally in your grip. No fooling around. No playing tricks on you. It must be like, as Swamiji said, your mind should be a well-trained dog. Ask him to sit, the dog will sit. Ask him to stand, the dog will stand. Ask him to stand on two legs, the dog will do so. You throw on something and ask him to bring him back, he'll bring it back. All the time wagging his tail, waiting for the order of the master. That should be the condition of your mind. How could that be done? Yajnaya acharata karma. By performing the duties of your life with the spirit, attitude of yajna. So with this, dear, On the 9th shloka he says, Punarjanma na eti mameti sarjana janma karma chame divyam. My janma, my karma, and Avatar Purush is saying so. That what you see I am born. That you see I live and I am active. All that is illuminative for you, effulgent for you, if you see it in this perspective. Janma karma chame divyam. He who has developed this attitude of looking at me, they do not become a victim of punarajanma, chain of birth and death. No, they don't be a victim of birth and death. They come and merge with me. Ya evam beti tattataha. Underline that word. He who knows this secret in its correctness, not with salt and pepper of my understanding, egoistic understanding, to see the thing in itself. That is why it is said, if you have any problem in your life, look at the life of your Ishtadev, Sri Ramakrishna, the Holy Mother, and you will find the solution there. How do you behave yourself in such a situation? That is why he says, Mama Janma, Mama Karma is Divyam, Dotanavan, effulgent, illuminative, educative. Only you will have to develop that attitude, not to find faults in it, not to understand with your own egocentric ideas. Try to understand him as he is. Ja evam veti tattata. He who knows it in itself. To know a thing in itself without spice and salt of your egocentric thinking. This is how he started in the 9th shloka. And slowly he defined what is karma, what is akarma, what is bikarma, and slowly and says, Gahana karma no gati. It can mislead you. It is very, very mysterious. You may think you are right, but when you compare it to the life pattern of a realized soul, you will understand where you have gone wrong. Gahana karma no gati. And then he says, how you can. Vitaraga bhaya krodha. Manmaya mam upashita. Bahavo jnana tapasha puta madbhavam agata. That is the 10th shloka for you. Immediately after he said, Ja evam beti tattataha, he is now informing you, describing to you, educating you and instructing you what is the attitude you should hold to reach that goal. You have to vigata, raga, bhaya, krodha. Raga, bhaya, krodha should have no hold on you. Anger, fear, and attachment. How do I feel myself? Do I live in vacuum? No. Manmaya mam upasita. Take hold of me. Be one with me. Fill yourself up with me and my presence. There will be no space for something else. You are a full cup. If you pay something, it will spill over. If your cup is full of God, of divine presence, there is no space for anything else. That is Manamaya Bhava. How can you do that? Mam Upashrita. Take shelter in me and be totally absorbed. So he starts from there, the 10th shloka, up to the 24th shloka. He has described Jnani is a Lakshana, and through that Lakshana, it is informative, educative, instructive, as well as descriptive. Evam Beti Tattataha. And what happens? Punarjanmana eti. He has broken the chain of life and death. Where does he go then? Mameti. He merges in me. Nowhere else. He is one with the Absolute. This is how this section is now complete. We will go forward next time in the study of the 4th chapter. We have about 20 shlokas left, but these remaining shlokas, many of them will be very prosaic, almost difficult to understand how to practice it in our day-to-day life. But we will try to see, according to Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, Holy Mother's teachings, and Swamiji's teachings, how to bring it in the domain of our common sense. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much. God bless us all.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.